developer. So welcome and happy weekend. Today, our lovely guest for today is Chinonso Okonkwo, who is a Power BI specialist. And she's also a data analyst. Like, she's really amazing. I love her energy. I love how she's so passionate about her learning, how she's passionate about helping others grow. Like, she recently, she actually did a YouTube video where she was teaching classes live. She was teaching people live on how to use Power BI, how to start their journey in Power BI. And I was like, okay, wow, this is amazing. Yeah, so hi China. So please, if you can introduce yourself. Thank you.
Hi, Rachel. Hi,
Hi
everyone.
China. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm really excited to be here. First of all, thank you for having me
Thank
on
you.
this. This is my first ever podcast, and yeah, so I'm just excited about that, basically. And first of all, I want to say, when I came online on Twitter and I saw you were sharing your journey on Power Platform, you made me really
Yeah.
interested in it. Like I was doing data analytics, but I was even looking at okay, what's Power Platform about and that. So
Yeah.
well done on that. So that's just what I want to
Thank
say.
you. Thank
All
you very
right.
much. Yeah.
All right.
I'm like,
So
okay.
yeah. So my name is Chinonso Okonkwo and I'm a
Yeah.
data analyst, a a YouTuber and a
Okay.
technical writer. So, as a data analyst, what I do is I get data and I analyze data to generate insights that can help a
Okay.
business make meaningful decisions, right? So,
Yeah.
also, I'm a YouTuber as well. So, as a YouTuber, that's just because I'm a very passionate person about teaching, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
once I learn anything, I like to share that and
Yeah, that's amazing.
starting a YouTube channel seemed like the easy way to go to reach across so many people, right? So that's
Yeah.
why I decided to start a YouTube channel. So what I do on my channel is just I teach content on tech, and very soon I'm going to delve into engineering and lifestyle
Okay.
as well. So that's what I do. And as a technical writer, right? I hope to do more writing this year. I hope to write more about Power BI and as many technologies as I can this year and tools.
Yeah.
Also, I am officially a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, and
Congrats.
that's something I'm really excited about too. So yeah,
Yeah.
that is basically a bit of what I do. Apart from that,
Yeah.
I love football, so I watch
Okay.
football, and then
Yes.
I'm a fan of Chelsea. Though I'm not really sure I'm still a fan of Chelsea at this point because I've just been losing. We've been losing a lot of matches, and
Yeah.
almost. So I watch Korean dramas for fun. So I work with
Yeah.
data and yeah, that's basically a bit of me. Also,
Okay.
I'm a student, an undergraduate student in the University of
Yes.
Nigeria in Nsukka, where I study civil
Okay.
engineering. So
Yeah.
basically that doesn't give me much time to practice as much data as I can, but
Yes.
I'm working on it. Yeah, so that's
Yeah, that's
basically just it.
amazing. Yeah, like the part you said, and welcome to the community, the Microsoft Learn Students community.
Thank
It's
you.
Yeah, it's amazing having you, like being so passionate about the community, like you are
Yeah,
ready to go the extra miles to help others. You understand me? And there's also one thing you said about reaching a larger crowd with YouTube.
exactly.
You get to teach people because that was actually what I'm actually going for. When I started my journey in Power Platform, I was actually like I was holding Twitter spaces where I was
Yeah.
teaching. I was like holding Twitter spaces. I was inviting people from the community where we got to talk about Power Platform, we got to talk about the tools in Power Platform. So when I later stopped, I was thinking that okay, I want to reach a wider audience. I was when I
Yeah.
started then it was just for Nigeria because I was thinking that okay, not a lot of people are aware about Power Platform. Like
Yes.
they
Yes.
have an
Definitely.
idea about Power BI, but they do not
Yes.
know about Power Apps. They don't have any idea about Power Automate and also
Yes.
Power Visual Agent and the new tool which just joined, which is Power Pages. So I was like, okay, what can I do? And when I started, I had a lot of questions then. I was like, okay, if I actually use if I come into this power platform as a career, will I
Mm-hmm.
get a job? I had a lot of questions then. I was like, okay,
Definitely.
with me having this much questions, I think that other people too, they also have this kind of questions. You understand me? So I
Yeah.
said, okay, I'm going to create a Twitter space where I invited people and we got to talk about Power Platform. So now we are doing podcast episodes to reach a wider audience. So it's really amazing
Yeah.
what you are doing, Chino. So I really love what you are doing. Most times
Thank
I
you.
see you. Yeah, most times I see you online. And I'm inspired. Like you're posting every day. You're posting about your journey. You're building projects with Microsoft Power BI. You get me? It's really
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, and one other question, you said something that you got to know, you got interested about Microsoft Power BI through what I was saying on Microsoft Power Platform.
Uh, yeah, a little bit of that. I was
Okay.
just the funny thing was I was just interested in Power Platform because I kept
Yeah.
seeing Power Platform was not a topic that people talk about a lot. A lot of people don't know
Yeah.
about Power Platform.
Yes,
What
that's
they know
true.
is just Power BI, which is part of Power Platform, but they don't even
Yeah.
know Power Platform. Do you get? So
Yeah.
I was just seeing you posting about that. Then I realized that I was even learning Power BI, which was related to that,
Yes.
which was
Yeah.
like a little bit there. Do you
Yeah.
get? So that's just
Okay.
that was it. That was
That's
it.
amazing. So there's one thing I want to ask, like the for today, what we're talking about is your experience, your learning journey, and also like your personal experience with Microsoft Power BI. So I want
Yeah.
to ask, like, what got you interested in Microsoft Power BI? Like, what got you interested that okay,
Hmm.
I want to pick this particular tool, I want to learn it,
Yes.
and I want to use it.
Yes.
You get me?
Yes. The
Yeah.
funny thing is, like, it was not like I made a decision to learn Power BI, right? So
Yeah.
my journey to Power BI started from my journey into data analytics. That's where it came into. So what I
Okay.
noticed is, as you start your data analytics journey, you're learning certain tools. Then you somehow realize that maybe some tools can't undo the project or whatever you're trying to work on, and then you
Yeah.
tend to like find another tool that can undo that.
Yes.
So once I started my journey learning data, I
Yeah.
could remember I started with a course on LinkedIn Learning. I started with a course on
Okay.
LinkedIn Learning first, and then
Yeah.
I moved on to the Google Data Analytics course. So the Google Data
Okay.
Analytics course actually doesn't even have Power BI as the BI tool. There was Tableau. So I even
Yeah.
started learning Tableau first. But then when I worked on the Google Data Analytics course and I was working on the project, so the data set
Yeah.
was about 5 million rows to be handled. And
Okay.
the only way to go about that would have been Python or Power BI, according to my research back then.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to like make use of Python, honestly. That's when I wanted to like learn Power BI. So,
Yeah.
learning Power BI for me came from a bunch of different things. Like, I created a dashboard in Excel, and
Okay.
I was not good back then. I didn't know
Yeah,
about.
it's fine. It's normal.
I didn't
Yeah.
have. I didn't have experience in dashboarding.
Yeah.
So what I created was just the insights were good, the analysis was good, but I mean, I posted it on LinkedIn and I would get maybe some nice comments, but I knew this wasn't it for me.
Yeah.
I needed a visualization to write, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to post this. I'm starting out, even if it's not perfect,
Yes.
I'll post it. I posted on LinkedIn, and
Yeah.
then I registered for a data analytics Octave dashboard. So they were creating like dashboards, and
Okay.
what this man used to explain to us was Power BI, and I just loved how
Yeah.
easy he made it. Like it was so
Yes.
easy, the platform, like just basic drag and drop and
Yeah.
everything. So you just start from there. It was easy to like delve into it because I was coming from a place of also Microsoft Excel as well. So
Yeah.
it was just like, okay, this Power BI might be a thing. And starting with Power BI, like a lot of people don't know, I'm the type of person that likes to like learn by trying things. So I do.
Yeah.
If this doesn't work, I figure out that nah, this is not going to work before even going ahead
Yes.
to even take an official course on the
Yeah.
platform. So I think
Okay.
that's why I started my power. That's why I decided I wanted to learn Power BI because it can handle millions of rows of data, and
Yeah.
then good for creating interactive reports and
Yeah.
dashboards. Also, like yeah, I think that's basically it.
Yeah, that's
That's a
amazing. Also,
bit of
there's
it.
also one thing to like, especially data. Like you're into
Yeah,
data, you understand me? Like we have a lot of persons who are coming into data, you understand, and they are
yeah,
kind of lost. They are thinking that okay, where can I start my journey? They are confused. Like, what tools am I supposed to pick? Like,
yeah,
where can I start? Like you said something just now that you actually started. You had a little bit of experience with Microsoft Excel,
yeah,
so it was
exactly.
easy for you. Yeah, it was easy for you picking up Microsoft Power BI.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, what do you say to individuals out there who are trying
Yeah.
to come into the data community, what do you say to them? How can they start their journey? Because especially me, I know that I
Yeah.
was very confused when I started because I was coming from a non-technical background. I did not really
Yeah.
understand what I wanted to go for or what
Yeah.
career I needed to go for. You understand me? So what
Yeah.
do you say to them? Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I would say to them is first off, like once you're coming into this place, you have to come with a strong mindset
Yeah.
and don't be like afraid because once you come in, like there'll be like bunch of things they might tell you to learn, bunch of things you need to
Yes.
learn. Like
Yeah.
don't be like fixated on like it's a lot of
Yes.
things to learn before I even start applying for a job or this or that. So
Yeah.
just like get a plan and stick to your plan. Just once you want
Yeah.
to start out, the best thing you can do is plan out your journey well. So, like I said, Microsoft Excel helped my journey in Power BI a bit, but I don't think
Okay.
anybody, like even if you do not have experience in Microsoft Excel, learning Power
Yes.
BI is something you can actually achieve. It's not like you need to have a prerequisite
Yeah.
knowledge in Power BI, in Excel rather,
Yeah. Excel.
because my
Yes.
knowledge in Excel just came from Power Query to help me Power Query in Power BI. So
Yeah.
for anybody starting out their career, I'll just say you need to start out with Excel, like people say, because this is like the bedrock of everything. So once you start out with
Yeah.
Excel, you can decide to learn maybe SQL and then you move to your Power BI, or you can decide to learn Power BI. Like there is no fixed roadmap for these
Yeah.
things.
That's
It
true.
all
Thank you very
depends
much.
on it all depends
Yeah.
on you and what you're working in. What I
Yeah.
realized along my journey is like I Power BI was not even supposed to come next in my journey, but I needed to know
Okay.
Power BI for what I wanted to create, for what I
Yeah.
wanted to work in. So there's no do or die part. Like just find something that works for you and stick with it.
Yes. Yeah.
So
That's true.
once
That's
you're
a
starting
very
out your journey, that's
Yeah,
just it.
that's an amazing advice because you have a lot of advices out there, especially maybe on Twitter. We have people who are on Twitter. They have like you
Yeah,
have to start with this. You must start. They like you get to see some trends where they tell you that you must start with
yeah,
this particular tool. Like they
yeah,
have so many tools that when you even start, when I started, I got like I reached out to somebody on Instagram because I saw her. She was
yeah,
posting about analysis stuff like that.
yeah.
When I reached out to her and she sent me the tools I was supposed to learn, I was scared. Like, okay,
Exactly.
you understand? I was scared. Like, okay, how can I do this? I've not heard about this tool before in my life. How can I learn Python? How can I learn
Yeah,
SQL? You understand? So you just have to
yeah,
take it easy on yourself. Plan out what you want. And there's also one advice I've gotten too is that when you are trying to pick a tool,
yeah.
you have to understand job markets. You get me? Like
Exactly.
you can go to LinkedIn. Like we're talking about general data community right now. You can actually go to LinkedIn and you can look for maybe a data analyst job and you check about the job description, like what they want in that particular job. And maybe I see Microsoft Power BI, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Power BI, Microsoft Excel. You understand? Then you like, okay, wow, okay, this is the tool most companies are using. Okay, so let me
Yeah,
start from here. So that I will not just be learning in vain. When I learn, you understand? When I learn, I know that
exactly.
yeah, when I learn, I know that I will actually get a job. It will be easy for me to get a job in this particular job market and do you understand? So that's
Yeah.
one thing too.
Yeah, to cut in there, sorry to cut you off. Like I had a
Yeah,
friend reaching out to me, telling me about like he works with like React and Flutter. So it's into this whole software
yeah,
development and front end. But then he was asking me about Power BI. I
yes,
was like, I'm always seeing this Power BI. Like it's like maybe it's something I need to learn too. Like once you're seeing roles out there, it's always seeing one thing also. Like you don't
yeah,
definitely need to like learn like data analytics. Just even a tool can get you a job. Like what can you do with this tool? What can you do with this? So that's
yeah,
like
that's
the
true.
most important thing as well.
Yes, that's very true. Yeah, there's also one thing about I love about your journey. Like I love about how you learn. Like you don't have to just learn; you have to learn and build projects. You understand? I
Yeah,
love how you learn, you teach, and you also build projects. Like I want to ask you, how do you get ideas about your project? Like how do you say that? Okay, I need to pick this particular project
yes.
and work on it. Yeah,
Okay. I think there are two type of projects, right? They are like
yeah,
fun projects for you
yeah,
and for you to like test how good you are with like creating something or working with a tool, say Power BI for instance,
Okay.
they're like fun
Yeah.
projects, and then there are projects where you're trying to do to like position yourself for maybe a role
Yes.
with a company,
Yeah.
like maybe you're looking to get into the finance or health, and then you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I need to get a project that can show what I can bring to this company or
Yeah.
to this team. So
Okay.
basically, like for one of my projects for the sentiment analysis on Beyonce's album, that's what I would call like a fun project, because
Yeah.
I realized that I'd been learning and learning for a while,
Yes.
and then I wanted to like try out my hands with something in Power BI and apply my data
Okay.
analytics skills to that as well. So once it comes to that,
Yeah.
like during that period of time, I was what I would say interested me about that project was it was trending online, right?
Yeah.
And I'd never really like been Beyonce released an album before, but I wasn't really
Yes.
like in the old space around that time. It was like
Yeah.
a bit later I was able to like get used to the album and listen to the album. But during that
Yeah.
time, I was listening to the music and I had a personal favorite. And
Okay.
everybody on Twitter was like, okay, this is my favorite, top two. These people were
Yeah.
having. So I wanted to see, okay, generally, what are people agreeing on as their top
Yeah.
favorite, like
I get you.
which is
Yeah.
their best track of the album. So that was what I
Yeah.
was looking at. So for like that project, that's what I would call like a fun project, but it's also a
Yeah.
project that you can take it further because it's about
Yes.
sentiment analysis. And
Yeah.
these days we know that social media is like in trend. If you have a
Yes.
business, you're not on social media, you're definitely wrong. So
Yeah. Yeah.
like
You are. Yeah.
analyzing the
That's true.
sentiment of like your customers or your audience is something anybody wants to do. So
Yeah.
if I could start out with analyzing like the release of your album, like Beyonce released the album and she wants to know
Yes.
maybe like which location are people listening to my music more from or tweeting about my music more from.
Yeah.
That was something I
Yes.
wanted to like share with her.
Okay.
So that was
Like,
it.
yeah, there's something you said, like you had an interest in that particular album and you worked on it. You
Yes,
get, because me myself, I've noticed that you have to have an interest in something. Maybe you
yes,
have interest in sports, maybe you watch
yes,
matches, stuff like that, and you say, okay, I want to actually create analysis on this match that was played today or on
exactly.
World Cup. You understand? You have to go for your
Yeah.
own particular interest because when you pick a project or when you pick a tool, like in data analyst now, we have different types of data analysts. We have sports analysts, we have health data
Yeah,
analysts. You understand? So it does not mean that you have to just be stuck in one particular place. You have to go for what you want. That's another thing.
yeah,
And when you are working on projects, you have to go for, especially when you are learning, you have to go for what interests you. Yes,
exactly.
because
I
you want
definitely
to work,
agree.
yeah, because you want to work harder to be able to complete that particular project. And in the same process,
Yeah.
you learn from it. You
Yes.
understand? Like, what did you learn from that particular project? Because when I saw that project online, I was like, okay, wow, this is amazing. I saw what you did with that diagram of Beyonce, and
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay, man, this is the most beautiful um dashboard or whatsoever it was I've seen. Because I
Yeah.
don't know anything about it analyst. So I said, this is the most beautiful dashboard I've seen. So I was like, okay, what did you actually learn from that particular project?
Okay. I think one thing I learned from that project was about pushing myself to my limits. And
Yeah,
then it was also about like not trying to be very perfect, because
yeah,
I worked on that project and then I would look at it and I'll be like, no, it's not giving what I want it to give. Then
yeah,
I'll just close the laptop and then I'll just be like, okay, I'm not pushing it out today. I'm not doing
yeah,
anything relating to this project. So what I learned from it also is about relating to Power BI. Now I had to learn how to like I wanted to connect. I wanted to give people like a connection that this project is about music. If
yes,
anyone can go online and they can check the chart, they'll see I made
yeah,
use of like this music icon. So what I
yeah,
wanted to do was pass across that message. So I had to learn how to like import that visual in Power BI. That's not something
yeah,
you regularly see in any like chart, but that was something I
yes,
wanted to put there. So I wanted when people were looking at it, I wanted them to see the sense that okay, this is giving off music, this is giving off an
yeah,
album, like an album cover.
yeah,
So when you work on projects like that, it's not going to be easy, because there's one thing I've learned about like you need to notice that sometimes you can remove certain things from your
yes,
project once they are not
yeah,
serving to tell the story you want. So
okay,
at some point I had to remove some things and work on like the arrangement and the layout. So it taught me a lot about like patience, and like I didn't see the big picture at all at the very end
Yes.
until the very end. And it's
Yeah.
just like, okay, just keep going one chart at a time, just keep putting one chart there, and
Yeah.
then you're going to get everything together. So definitely what I would say anyone should take out of this is just like, you need to know you're not going to always come out with like the perfect work or something,
Yeah.
but
So
like
yeah.
just work on what you want to do and push it out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Thank you very much.
And
That's really
and
amazing. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
continue.
And and I could remember I started working with it. I was working with it with a laptop that was slow at that period of time. And if you
Yes,
know Power
yes.
BI,
It's
before you
heavy.
enter
Yeah.
Power BI, I say you're going to be like, you wait, you just be like, okay, let me just be
Yeah.
waiting until this app will open for me. That's just it.
Yes. Yeah, that's actually determination. It's actually not easy at all, but that's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's one question thing I want to ask you, like, especially for our listeners, maybe this is the first time they're hearing
Yeah.
about Microsoft Power BI. So what do you say to them? Like, how do you explain Microsoft Power BI in a simple way where they will understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's Power BI,
Yeah.
where the BI stands for business intelligence.
Okay.
So Power BI is one of the business intelligence tools that you
Yeah.
can use for any professional. So it's not only data professionals. So as a
Yes.
professional, you can always make use of Power BI. So Power
Yeah.
BI allows you to connect to various data sources, be it CSV
Yes.
file, JSON format, and then
Okay.
you can analyze and process your data and
Yeah.
create interactive reports and generate insights that can help your business make better sense of their data
Yeah.
through the creation of reports. Okay, is this a bit complex? I think I'm getting a bit complex for people to understand.
Yeah.
But
It's
basically, what
fine.
it means is you can make it a Power BI to get your data from different
Yeah.
sources, transform the data to get the insights, which is basically what you want from your data, and then you can
Yeah.
share it with anyone to take action from that insight. So that's it in the most simple form I can think of with a
Yeah,
BI tool.
that's great. Thank you. And also one thing too you need to be aware of is that Microsoft Power BI is actually a tool
Yeah,
in Microsoft Power
yeah,
Platform. Yes. So
yeah.
and so there's
All
also one
right.
thing I want to ask you. Like I want to ask you, what's
Yeah.
your personal experience with Microsoft Power BI?
Okay.
Yeah.
My personal experience, it's a bit of learning and
Yeah.
trial and error. Trial and error, like
Okay.
try something, it doesn't work, you
Yeah.
try to figure out, okay, why doesn't it work?
Yeah.
My experience with Power BI was starting out. I mentioned earlier that I just learned Power BI from trial and error and watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then that's not like a basis for any sound knowledge for anyone.
Yes.
So if you
Yeah.
want to really work with this tool and become like the best in this tool, or at least close
Yes.
enough, you need to
Yeah.
like go through a learning path for this. So
Yeah.
my journey with Power BI, then my experience with that is like I needed to learn. So that was where it took me to
Yes.
finding a platform where I could learn Power BI from.
Yeah.
So starting out with Power BI, I've learned how to create projects in it. And now what
Yeah.
I'm working on is trying to see if I can integrate Python with Power BI. So I'm
That's
trying to see how
amazing.
to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So it's
amazing.
not easy. It's not easy per se because I have to like try to figure out some things.
Yes.
And yeah, it's also like I can figure it out, right? And then
Yeah.
I'm always like, if I'm making this video for somebody to figure it out, can they replicate the same thing I'm doing? Like,
Yeah,
is it going to
that's
be easy
true.
for them to like, if I can achieve this, can someone else achieve that
Yeah.
with Power BI and Python?
Okay.
So it's also about like making that easy for others as well. They're trying to
Okay.
learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's really great. No, so that's amazing. Like I love how
yeah,
you're so determined about your learning, how you are passionate about growing, and she also has a YouTube channel where she teaches others about. Yeah, she has a YouTube channel where she teaches others about Power BI. Like she recently did a
yeah,
live section. She and her sister Rita, where they were teaching on
yeah.
Power BI. So you can actually check her out. I'm going to post the link on the chat. Chinonso
Thank
Okonkwo.
you.
Yeah. So you can check her out. She's amazing. Like I love her. She's amazing. Yeah. There's also one thing I
I
want
love
to
you
ask.
too.
There's also one thing I want to ask you, like about apart from
Yeah,
your personal experience. If you can talk
yeah.
about, can you advise a beginner to where can you how can you tell a beginner how they can get started with Microsoft Power BI? How can they get those who are interested? How can they get started in
Yes.
Power BI?
Okay. So when it
Yeah,
comes to learning a tool, right, you want to take the
yes,
decision very seriously, right?
yeah,
So with my own experience as well, I I knew I had to learn Power BI, right? The
yeah,
official platform. And I
yeah,
thought there's no other platform than Microsoft because they
yeah.
created the
Microsoft, yeah,
product themselves.
yeah,
And one thing I would say is like as a Nigerian, once you think about data and everything, you're already
yeah,
almost frustrated with your learning. So
yeah,
you want to like, so you don't want to like majorly pay for courses online a lot.
yes,
You don't have that resources to pay for a
I get
lot of
you,
courses
yeah,
online. So you look
yeah,
for like free platform for learning that you can upskill yourself. So
yeah,
Microsoft Learn platform is one of that platform. So with
yeah,
the
and it's
Microsoft
free,
Learn, you
yeah,
can learn Power BI. So that's where I started my journey. That's where
yeah,
anything I get from Power BI, I'm always there. Even if I'm searching up something online on Google on Power BI, once I see the
yes,
Microsoft this thing, I just click on it because like I know I'm
okay,
getting like solid information. So for
yes,
anyone
that's
starting
true,
out their journey in Microsoft Power BI, one thing I say you should keep in handy is your Microsoft Learn platform and
yeah,
YouTube channels. So you're going
yes,
to use the Microsoft Learn platform. They have like modules. So it's structured out. So once you learn this, how to get data in Power BI, you move to the next, then you move to the
yeah,
next. And then what is interesting about it is they also have labs. So labs are like
yeah, they
practicals
do,
where you get to
yes,
work on it yourself.
yeah,
So what I did and what you can do as well if you're interested is like what I did is I took learning on the Microsoft Learn platform. So basically it's kind of like reading based. So once you read,
okay,
you are able to even save your data and then after you see some exercises that assess
yes,
you on what you read. And then if you don't have
yeah,
data,
yeah,
you can like
assessments, that's
later in
true,
the
yeah,
night, yeah. So if you don't have data, later in the night, you can just subscribe for a night plan and then
and work
go
on
over
it,
your labs. Yes, and then work on your labs. So
yes,
that's just it. And then YouTube videos for like how to do anything. You can use YouTube videos to supplement your learning. There are lots of useful YouTube channels out there, like
yeah,
just a lot of them.
yeah, it's
So
amazing.
basically,
And there's
you want to
okay,
consider
sorry.
that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, and
done.
there's also one thing to do to like most times when you are working, you might just get stuck and you might have a question. You understand? You
Yes,
have social media there, you have Twitter,
yes, the
you have
community.
LinkedIn, yeah, you have community, and even in Nigeria, we have like a
Yes,
Power BI community.
exactly.
And we also have a Power Platform community where you can ask your questions. Where you get stuck, you can ask your questions. Okay, I have this issue.
Yeah,
I have this issue. Please, what can I do? And a lot of people are going to come up and answer your questions. You get me?
yes,
So you don't have to be scared, especially when you are just starting. You don't have to be scared. Like, okay, what should I do? How am I going to start my journey? I'm
yeah,
stuck. I'm stuck now. I will just drop everything. I don't know what to do anymore. I'll just drop everything. I'm okay.
yeah,
I've tried. You understand? Most times it happens. You understand? Especially when you get stuck in something that you think is so big that you can't get past that particular point.
yeah,
So just to encourage yourself, ask questions, reach out to people and stuff like that. So there's also one thing I also want to ask you. I want
yeah.
to ask you, like, I've already asked you about your personal experience with Power BI. So I want to say, on a
Right.
personal level, what advice do you have to our listeners?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So on your Power BI journey, I'll just say the advice is like you want to make sure that as you're learning, you're sharing online, and as you're
yeah,
learning, you're working on it. So you don't want to just
yes,
be someone who knows how to use Power BI without people knowing that you know how to use Power BI. So you
yes,
can market your skills. You want to get a
yeah,
job, but nobody knows you can use this tool. It doesn't work that way.
yeah,
So as you're learning online, be sharing online and be working on projects.
yes,
So one thing I made in my data analytics journey that I was able to quickly find and fix was working on projects. So you want
yeah,
to, no matter how little, just and I find that it makes it interesting once you're
yes, it
learning and you're
does.
doing something. Exactly.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to just be there and be sitting and be just learning and not doing anything.
yes, I'm
So
not
if
doing
you want to like
anything.
make it interesting for you, just anything you
Yeah,
learn, just think of something. What can I do with this that I can share it online? Or what has been done
yeah,
with this that I can improve? You don't
yeah,
always have to do something new, but you can just make it better, add some
yes,
improvement to it, show people what you
that's
can
true.
do with that.
Yeah,
So as you're
yeah,
learning, share your journey online, and like don't be afraid if you work on any dashboard in Power BI, don't be afraid to put it out there. Like
Yes,
it's not
that's
going
true.
to be
That's
your
very
best,
true.
but it's not going to kill you either. So just post it online.
Yeah,
People will tell
yeah,
you, oh, this is what's not good, this was not good, and
yeah.
then you fix
And the
it
data
to
community is
get better.
very supporting, you understand?
Exactly,
They're very
exactly.
supporting.
Like it
Yeah. So
is.
if you have any issue with your dashboard, if the colors are not right, if you're not using
Yeah,
the, but maybe you're supposed to use
yeah,
a bar chart and you use a pie chart, people are going to advise you, okay,
yeah,
this is what you did wrong, this is what you did wrong. And you can actually use that to work on your project. You understand?
yeah,
So like that advice you gave, like I love that advice because
yeah,
David Abu was actually the person that advised me that okay, when he came for the boot camp in Benin, he
yeah,
was like, you guys should post your learning online. You
yeah,
understand? Me, I was like, okay, how can I do this? I'm not actually active online. I'm a
yeah,
very shy person. You understand me? I'm a very shy person. So where how can I do this? So what I did, I just started during the boot camp. I started
yeah,
posting the assignments they gave to us, started posting the assignments. Then after the boot camp, I just turned Twitter to my notebook because I write a lot.
hmm,
Yeah, so
yeah,
I write a lot. So I just turned Twitter to my notebook, like, okay, I'm just writing. To me, you might be seeing my post, but to me, I'm writing. I'm just writing. And most times, even now, I still go on Twitter and I search on my past. Maybe I have like I'm building a project or something because then I was posting what I was learning and I was posting how I solved the challenge I had in that particular thing I
yeah,
was doing. So now most times maybe I'm just working on something and I get stuck again. And I know that I've actually done this particular thing before and I was able to solve it. I don't remember. I can actually
yeah,
just go to Twitter and search for it and work
exactly,
and work on it
exactly.
again. You understand? So you don't have to be scared, like what Noso has said already. You don't have to be scared. Post your social media. Let everybody know. Me, I'm learning Power BI. You must know it's
Yes,
my first.
exactly.
Yeah, it's my first. You must know. I'm
No,
learning. Yeah, because they said there's one thing I understand that if you don't ask for something,
yeah,
nobody's going to know that you need that thing.
exactly.
If people don't know that you are selling fish, nobody will come and meet you and buy fish from you. You
That's
get.
just it.
So just be yourself, learn. Don't just learn. You understand? Work on projects, reach out to people, ask questions. Don't be shy. You understand? And if people do not answer your questions, don't take it to heart because a lot of people have
Yeah,
things. Yeah, a lot of people have things they are going through. They might be
yeah.
busy, so nobody's ignoring you. You understand?
Yeah,
Nobody's
I don't feel
ignoring.
like
Just
it's just putting. The thing is, you might not actually know that people are watching, but people are watching you. So just
yeah.
keep
Thank you
putting your
very
things
much.
out there. Just be
Yeah,
putting it out there for people to be
yeah.
seeing. It's consistency that pays off.
Yes,
Like
it does.
it's like how consistent can you be with this? Let's see.
Yeah,
So if you keep posting and you're growing as you're doing all of this, you won't even realize how like you started out with just
yes.
anytime you started out with not knowing what to do, and then
Yeah,
now you
that's
already
true.
know how to like create a full report, a full
You
dashboard
can
in
load
Power
data.
BI.
You can load data
You
in
get
Power BI
exactly.
from not knowing how to, and you can already load. You understand? So
Mm,
there are definitely differences. And one other thing too, you can take social media as your accountability partner.
true.
Yes,
One
you
thing I
can
would
be.
advise also, like you can start out like maybe something to motivate yourself, like let's
Yeah.
say 30 days or 60 days of learning or anything,
Yes.
and just
Yeah.
each day try to do any little thing you can,
Try to
like every
show up.
day.
Yeah.
Try to
Try
show
to
up, make
show
it
up.
count.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And there's also one thing too. After even trying to show up, try and just be consistent. It's very, very important because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, you cannot even know that okay, I'm posting online. No, it just becomes normal. If you do not even post it, you're like, okay, there's something missing that I did not do
Yeah.
today. You understand? It helps you like how will I say this now? It helps people know that okay, I'm actually doing this thing. Maybe when somebody is actually working on a paid project and the person is like, okay, let me reach
Yeah.
out so Noso can actually do this. You understand? You get
Yes.
if you were not out there, nobody will know that Noso can do this. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's a very good thing. So just start your journey in Power BI, like what we said from the call. Start your journey in Power BI. If you're having questions, ask. If you don't want to share your journey too, it's totally fine. You understand? It's totally
Yeah.
fine, but just be consistent with your learning. Be consistent with
Yes.
your learning. Make sure you learn, you build projects. You get me? You reach out to people. You make sure you reach out to people who already have idea, or maybe you get to look for a friend as a accountability partner. You get to do a lot of things. And Microsoft Power BI is amazing.
Yes, definitely. Like you have lots of sources to connect your data to,
Yeah,
and then the syntax is actually friendly. Like
yeah,
once you come into Power BI, like it's very friendly. Like everything is organized. Then you want to
yeah,
get data, you just see get data, just telling you
yeah,
get data from here, just get data. Like
yeah,
that's how easy it is, and it's like low code, no code. You don't need to know how to
yeah,
code.
yeah,
Anybody can work with Power BI. You don't need any
yeah.
coding experience.
That's
So
true.
you just
Share
just
your head.
enter. Yeah.
Share your head. You don't have to know how to code. You
Ah,
can work
when
with
I
Power
started, I
BI.
didn't want to code. When I started my journey, I was running away
Yeah.
from code. I was like,
Yes.
I don't want to code. Hmm. But then you just see that Power BI is there for you.
You say you understand. So that's the thing. So if you're
Yeah.
looking to start your journey, Microsoft Power BI is there for you. You can start your journey. Microsoft Learn is there. You have YouTube. You can search for Microsoft
Yeah.
Power BI. They have a lot of courses, like free courses on
Yeah.
YouTube, like a full
Yeah.
playlist of for beginners. You understand? And you can
Yes.
actually progress with it. So I'm actually after this call, I'm actually going to drop a link to Noso's YouTube channel because she has a
Yeah.
playlist on Power BI. I'm going to drop a list to Microsoft Learn where you can actually see resources to actually learn. And
Mm.
yeah, so that's it. So thank you very much, everyone, and thank you for
Thank you,
listening to us.
Rachel.
Yeah, thank you, Noso.
Thank you,
Thank
Rachel, for having me. It was wonderful.
yeah,
I
thank
really
you.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. And once again, welcome to the MLSA community.
All
Yeah,
right. Thank you.
yeah. Thank
It's
you.
nice
So,
to hear that. Please keep saying it every time. It never gets old.
welcome. Welcome.
Ah,
Okay. Yeah, so thank you
thank
very
you.
much, everyone. So, see you in the next podcast. And you can actually check the playlist on this podcast where we talked about healthcare. If you are into healthcare, if you want to know about the Microsoft Power Platform, if you want to know if you can actually code with Microsoft, if as a programmer or a you have programming experiences and you are thinking that you can come into Microsoft Power Platform, you can just check on the playlist. You're going to
Definitely.
see, yeah, just check on the playlist. You're going to see different podcast episodes where we talked about Microsoft Power Platform. So thank you, everyone, and have a great
Bye.
weekend. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.
Thank you.